Well, hey there. Welcome to Paw Chronicles and More with Jim. Well, today what I did was I transplanted 2 grafted persimmons into these 3-gallon root trapper bags. The persimmons were grown in a tall one tree pot. It's kind of oddly shaped, but they did real well in growing in them pots. And I'll show you the pot real quick, just a moment. Right there. Very oddly shaped pot, but it worked. The persimmons really did well in these pots, and I was pleased. It got a lot of air hole down the bottom, which allowed for air pruning. And these bags are designed to air prune. Set this down. I did this because of the 2 trees here behind me. Now, granted, these are grafted. This one right here is a Sosnovsky, I guess I'm saying it right. And this one right here is a Super Rosie. You get the tags back on them so I can keep track of what they are. And those 2 are going to be grown out in these bags, just like these 2 right here. Now, these 2 right here behind me are seedlings. The seeds came from a fruit that I got from Cliff England of England's Orchard down in Kentucky. Went down there the first year to visit him in 2022, I believe it was. But anyways, we walked his farm. He shared some of his fruit and knowledge with me, and he gave me a piece of fruit that came out of a persimmon called a China bully, and it was very, very big. And he said, "You can eat that like an apple, James. It's non-stringent. It's not bitter, but it was hard, and I don't have any teeth." So I brought it home with me and I set it on the windowsill and I allowed it to soften up. Well, it was a good thing I did, because when I finally did get around to eating that fruit, I cut it open and lo and behold, there was 4 seeds in there. And out of the 4 seeds, 3 of them germinated. So the first year, which was 2022, I was down there in 21. In 2022, I planted them out back, and they were smaller than these 2 right here at the time. And at the end of winter, they hadn't grown very much. They were there the whole season of 22. After winter was over with in 23 last year, I elected to go ahead and dig them up and try to house them a little bit. In conversation with Cliff, don't know if they'll live this far north or not. He suggested that the tree had to have been pollinated by a male dominant hybrid. And those, like I said, last year, they were a little bit smaller than these, maybe about the size of that one over there. And that's what I got in 1 year's growth inside them root trapper bags. And the root trapper bags are 15 inches deep. They're 8-inch opening, and they hold good moisture, and they trap up root to cause root mass to develop. There's really, really small holes all over the bag that you can actually see light through. And when that root gets into the side of the bag, it stops. It can't turn because it's more like a felt on the inside of the bag. And that root will air prune right there. And what will happen is it'll cause more fiber roots to develop back towards the central part of that tree or root system. And right now what I'm trying to do is get these ones here hardened off because later on this season I'm going to try and plant them, and they're beautiful trees, and one can only hope at least one of them turn out to be a female, which that would be great. They're not going to be like the parent tree. They're going to have the bitterness to them, but leave them alone, they're liable to they'll soften up and the stringency will leave out of them. But man, those are beautiful trees. And this right here makes 4 grafted trees that I have transplanted into these bags. I'm going to grow them out and see how they do. And 2 of them I did earlier this year, and one of them is already doubled in size since I did that. So I elected to go ahead and do 2 more the same way. Like I said, Sosnovsky, Super Rosy. The other 2, I have a Barber's Blush in there, and the other one is a Victor Derevyanko, in which the Derevyanko really took off in this system. So we'll see how these will do planted in this way. And I'll leave them in the bags for a year, maybe 2 years. When they get to be about that size, I'll transplant them. I'm not going to worry about staking these up when I transplant, because we're talking 15-inch depth of an awful lot of root, and it's going to be a lot of root mass, in which I will expose the roots when I transplant, and I'll share that with you here on the channel. We get these put into the crates. I find the crates make it better to move them around than grabbing the bag. So we're dealing with a lot of dirt, and once again, I've said before in other videos, why use so much dirt? That gets kind of pricey, and it does. But I have to look at the value of the tree. The tree is worth more when it grows than what I spent on soil. The soil amendments in this right here is the same as I normally use with the pawpaws. And once again, sorry, not pawpaw related. This is the other part, or the more part. We've got biocarbon in here. We've got biochar in here. We have a soil conditioner in here that has bat glom and earthworm castings in the soil conditioner. And we also have, as far as the biocarbon, it's composted leaves, all mixed in. And then I treated them when I planted them in here with mycorrhiza to help get the root to develop. But anyway, just something I wanted to share with you. I got some other things I got to get done. Well, my name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. Don't forget to click on that bell for any notifications. Any comments or questions that you may have, I welcome. You all have a God bless day.